Today's video is all about the fashion propaganda that I won't be falling for. I saw this trend on Instagram and TikTok a little while ago now, and I really wanted to bring it over to YouTube, have a more of an in-depth, substantial conversation about these topics, because some of them are a little bit controversial. So these are the controversial fashion opinions that I have, the fashion propaganda, if you like, that I won't be falling for. I have to say, one piece of fashion propaganda that I've absolutely fallen for time and time again is hair as part of the outfit. I think hair is one of those underrated style tips. Having your hair as part of your look and looking after your hair so it complements your outfit and your vibe is so key. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit briefly about my hair care routine, especially as so many of you have been asking me about how I take care of my hair. And that is where today's sponsor comes in. I've been using the Laifen hairdryer. Look how pretty this one is. The pink colour. This comes in a few different colours. They are all really pretty, but I went with the pink. I've been using this for a little while now and absolutely loving it. There are a few functions on this hairdryer that make it just top notch for the health and quality of your hair and the overall style that you get as well. This hairdryer actually has a smart sensor on it which adjusts the temperature of the air 50 times per second to control the temperature and ensure it's not getting too hot to maintain the health of your hair. It is also quite a lightweight hairdryer actually, and if you have thick hair like me, I don't know if you can tell, but I have a lot of hair. I have really thick hair, and so if I'm getting out of the shower and drying my hair straight away, it can take forever. It can take so long, and it really hurts my arm. I mean, it sounds stupid, but I'm not very strong, and it really hurts my arm after a while. And this is really lightweight, but incredibly powerful. So I get a really quick blow dry, but my arm isn't aching by the end of it either. The hairdryer is equipped with 105,000 RPM for uber quick drying, and it also uses negative ions, which reduce the frizz. And I've definitely noticed a difference since switching to this hairdryer. My hair, you can see from the before and after. I've shown you my hair wet and then my hair blow dried with just this hairdryer. No products at all, like nothing on my hair other than just washing it with shampoo and conditioner. And you can see how soft it is, particularly at the top. It is so silky smooth. And this is before I've put anything in it. Like I will probably run an oil through the ends of my hair, but that is honestly it. I didn't even use heat protectant, which, I mean, I probably should use heat protectant, but you really don't need to necessarily when you're using a piece of technology like this, because it almost has it built in to the hairdryer itself. It comes with a couple of different attachments and they are really easy to take on and off. I don't know if you've ever used those hairdryers where you're like struggling to put the attachments on. They kind of have to click into place. These are magnetic, so they literally just pop on like that, which is so good. It also comes with a diffuser. This one here, I don't use this so much because I don't really have wavy or curly hair, but if you do, I know these are kind of essential. And again, it is magnetic, so you can just take it on and off really easily. It is, yeah, it's a quieter than average hairdryer. So if you live in a communal space, if you live in a dorm, university, if you're at a hotel, I know when I used to travel with work, I used to dry my hair really early in a hotel, and I was always really conscious that I was maybe waking up the people around me. This is uber quiet, so it's perfect for those kind of scenarios. Thank you so much to Laifen for sponsoring this video. If you would like to check out any of their products, they do a couple of iterations. I know they have a travel one as well that is slightly lighter weight still. I will leave them both linked down below. Okay, number one on my list of the fashion propaganda that I will not be falling for, and that is seasonal colour analysis. I am not going to lament this point too much because I've definitely spoken about this before, and most of you probably know I'm not really a fan of seasonal colour analysis. However, probably of all the ones on the list today, this is the most subjective because I do think it can work for certain people, but I just don't think it's like a blanket thing that everyone needs. Personally, I feel quite confident in knowing what colours suit me, and even just knowing what colours I like and what I enjoy wearing, regardless of what looks flattering or not. I don't really care about flattering that much these days. And I just feel like you should trust your intuition a little bit more when it comes to colours and cuts, and obviously getting help from a professional stylist. I'm not knocking that. I think that is a great idea. But specifically with colour, I do feel like we don't give ourselves enough credit, and actually we should be more confident in knowing what colours we're naturally drawn to and what colours we tend to avoid. I always have, from a young age, avoided orange and yellow, and I feel like that's just because they don't look good on me, and I can kind of tell that without having to spend £200 for someone to tell me that. Second on the list, we have luxury costume jewellery, and this is one that I don't think is subjective at all. This is one that I think is a complete waste of money no matter who you are and how much money you have. I was scrolling Net-a-Porter the other day, as I like to do, rarely buy anything, but I like a scroll, and I came across, I think it was a Bottega Veneta bracelet. It was about £900 and it wasn't even gold plated, it was just gold tone. So just like gold coloured for £900. And the crazy thing about that is you can get a solid gold bracelet for that, not even a gold plated bracelet. You can get a fully solid gold bracelet for that money. And I just can't understand anyone spending their money on luxury costume jewelry. It is wild to me. It is so confusing. And this bracelet wasn't even logoed. It's not even like you were buying it for the branding or for the logo. As far as I remember, it was just a very generic bracelet. It just happened to be from Bottega, and it was made of like the cheapest materials. So that is an absolute no. That is one that I will never succumb to. I never have succumbed to, and I never will. Number 3 on the list is maybe a little bit of a controversial one. I don't know, probably not that controversial with the people who watch me, and that is buy now, pay later schemes for fashion specifically. I mean, generally as a whole, buy now, pay later schemes are a no to me, but I think anything in fashion that you have to finance is not worth the money. And actually it's really interesting. I noticed a few videos cropping up on YouTube recently about these huge buy now, pay later schemes are in financial trouble, like Klarna and Afterpay. They are on the verge of bankruptcy. They have huge amounts of debt. And honestly, it's not surprising. The amount of people that probably make purchases through these schemes with no intention of how they're going to pay that back. And they think, I'll worry about that later. And then they realize later down the line, they still can't pay it back because they couldn't afford it in the first place. And I just think it's crazy. I think you are far better off waiting. I mean, honestly, I feel like sometimes you're better off using a credit card because the interest rates are actually often lower on credit cards than on Klarna. That's if you obviously miss the payment. I know they're interest free for a certain amount of time, but after that the interest skyrockets, and that's how they get, that's how they bank on making their money, right? And I just think if you can't afford it, honestly, one rule I like to live by in a lot of scenarios, but particularly for fashion, is if you can't afford it twice, you can't afford it. In other words, if you don't have the money freely in your bank account to buy that thing 2 times over, you probably can't afford it just once over in the first place. The next thing on the list are jean trends or denim trends. And what I mean by this, I was thinking about this earlier, and I just feel like denim inevitably has this trend cycle where, I don't know, 1 year super skinny jeans are in fashion, and then it kind of gradually, there's that really good graphic, I'll insert it if I can find it, where gradually they get a little bit looser, a little bit looser, a little bit looser, until you're wearing a full-on like palazzo jean. And then it reverts back the other way slowly, and they get slightly skinnier, slightly skinnier, slightly skinnier, until you've got the spray-on skinny jeans again. And that kind of goes on like a 20-year cycle maybe. But I think with jean trends, the thing is, with jeans, they are so specific to your body type, your shape, your height, whether you're curvy, that kind of thing, that you really just need to find a jean style that suits you, your proportions, what you feel comfortable in, your style as well, and kind of just stick to that. And that's something that I've realised over the years. I've worn everything from a skinny jean to a mum jean to a wide leg jean to a straight jean to like a carpenter jean. I haven't tried barrel jeans yet, but I was honestly tempted the other day, but I think I'm staying clear of them. And I found that honestly, a straight to wide leg jean that is high-waisted, fitted through the hip and thigh, and then flows quite kind of wide, mid kind of straight to wide at the bottom, is the most flattering on me. And that is completely different to someone who might have the opposite body proportion to me, perhaps. And so I really think you just need to invest some time and patience into figuring out what denim style specifically suits you. It might be flares. It might be skinny jeans. I think for a lot of people it is just like a classic straight jean because they're kind of universal. But you just need to figure out, put some time into, maybe order a few different styles or go into a shop, try on a few different styles, figure out which one looks best, work with a personal stylist maybe. And then once you know that, try not to get swayed by what's on trend or not, because inevitably 1 year it's going to be one style and then in 5 years it's going to be another style. Another one on the kind of style route, and that is bubble hems. Honestly, there's no kind of explanation needed. I just really don't like a bubble hem. There's something about it that just is so off to me. I feel like it's just so heavy at the bottom, and so like all of the visual weight is drawn to that area, and often it's like a midi length, and having that cut off at your calf where your kind of leg is the widest anyway, and then having this bubble hem that's like so visually heavy, I really don't like them. And I feel like I'm seeing slightly less of them, maybe. I feel like they were quite popular in spring, maybe hopefully they're fading out, because yeah, there's something I just cannot get on board with. I really don't like them. Another thing I really don't like are Amazon influencers, and this is another maybe controversial one on this list, but I have nothing, well, okay, I try not to buy from Amazon, but I'm not going to shame people from buying the odd thing from Amazon. We all do it. We all like the convenience, right? But what I'm specifically referring to are those influencers who you see mostly on TikTok, a little bit on Instagram, who only show, their fashion influencers, or should I say shopping influencers, who only show clothing from Amazon. And I just think it's more that I feel sorry for them, because yeah, they're probably making really good money and that's why they're doing it. But if you're a fashion influencer, you have to enjoy and like fashion in some capacity, right? To make that your job. And I couldn't, as someone who loves fashion, I couldn't think of anything worse than only being able to shop and wear clothes from Amazon. It would destroy my soul. I mean, imagine all of the fun fashion things that you're missing out on. The vintage finds, the going thrifting, the getting a really good deal on something, finding small independent brands that aren't on Amazon, and you can shop and support local businesses and small businesses and finding that gem that no one else has. You miss out on all of that because you're only shopping on Amazon. And I just think it must be really soul destroying for, I mean, maybe they like it, but I know if, as a creator who does make fashion content, if I was confined to only buying clothing on Amazon, I would be really depressed. Two more on the list now, and the next one is PR unboxings, and I'm talking about those gigantic, mostly TikTok again, PR unboxings that influencers do, where they unbox like 500 packages that they got sent that week, and then the next week they'll do another 500. And this is, again, it's similar to the Amazon influencers, more for their mental health. I think as a creator, I can kind of understand the behind the scenes a little bit of what goes on, and I get sent PR maybe once every 2 weeks, and the recycling and the organisation involved in just that, like if I get maybe 3 PR boxes a month, that's like a good month for me. I'm kind of overwhelmed with the amount of packaging surrounding me, the amount of boxes I have to break down, the amount of products or clothing that I then have to store somewhere in my small house. And I just think, can you imagine getting like 100 parcels a week? I mean, yeah, it's fun at first, but after a while, it is just pure life admin. And I know these big influencers have people who work for them, and that is like their full-time job is sorting out this stuff. But can you imagine living around all of that stuff? Absolutely not. I have absolutely no desire to live with that sort of stuff. I'm very grateful to get the PR I do, but I regularly turn things down because I'm just like, I don't need this. I don't have any desire for this, and no one in my life has any desire for this either. So why am I accepting it? And the final piece of fashion propaganda that I will absolutely not be falling for are Labubus, or specifically blind boxes. I really think it's the blind box rather than the Labubu. I don't have anything that against Labubus. I mean, yeah, they're ugly, but if they're your thing, go for it. And I also don't really have anything against people collecting certain items if they're really into them. I mean, I would say I kind of collect dresses because I love dresses, and I have more dresses than the average person, and I think that's okay. And if you love Labubus and that is your thing and you have more Labubus than the average person, then go for it. But the thing I have a real issue with are the blind box nature of the items, and it's not just Labubus, it's other things that come in these blind boxes. I just think it is a form of gambling, and if you don't know what a blind box is, basically when you buy a Labubu, you don't know which one you're going to get. It comes in a box, you don't know which one is inside that box. You open it up and some are more rare than others, so you're hoping when you open it to get the rarer types of Labubu or any kind of blind box. And I just think it's encouraging. I mean, it's a very clever marketing strategy for these brands. It is very ingenious, really, to not show the item that you're buying on the box, so people buy more and more and more and more and more, and you have these superficially rare Labubus or items which aren't actually any rarer in the sense that they're not made any differently. They're probably just a different colour. They're produced in the same factory. There's nothing rare about them technically, other than that there are less of them and people want them. And so by nature, people are going to spend until they get this rare one. And I just think, luckily for me, for some reason, that marketing tactic doesn't work on me. I don't know why. Maybe it's the way I was born. Maybe it's my personality. But the idea of a blind box does not appeal to me at all. It never really has. Like a goodie bag, a mystery bag, a blind box never appealed to me. I would much rather buy the thing I actually want, and just the thing I actually want, than have to buy 5 things that I don't want to get the one thing that I do want. Even if the thing I want is more expensive to buy in the first place, I'll probably have spent that much more money on the things I don't want that I now have to sell or get rid of. There you go. Those are the pieces of fashion propaganda that I won't be falling for. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you agree or disagree with any of these things. I feel like some are controversial and some I feel like most of you are gonna agree with me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy it. I will also leave a link to my Laifen hairdryer down below if you're interested in checking that out. And I will see you very soon in my next video.